So today we're talking about monetizing your skills and your passion, then unlock your earning potential while maintaining your day job. So how it all started. So basically a few years ago, um, you know, I started from physical products. And before then, my background is, I'm a data analyst. I work for companies and I help their marketing aspects, their marketing bits, helping them to how they can use their data to make sure that things are actually working properly and increasing revenue, increasing profitability, just coming up with all different strategies, how they can make things work better. And then along the line, my passion, I got this interest in helping small scale businesses in, improving. And I was having seen the value of data, how it can make businesses work. So I picked up this interest and thinking, how can I help small scale businesses who does not have the budget to hire a data analyst in their team to be able to get this knowledge and help them grow their businesses just like the big ones. And from it, I said, okay, I only know this bit, the data part, the marketing part. Now, I need to understand the whole thing. You can't help somebody solve a problem if you don't understand their whole thing. So if I'm talking just about marketing and I don't see other aspects of things, that's going to be like, just going to be like, just giving someone injection for one sickness and then the other sickness is still there. So I said, you know what, the best thing for me is to really go in this myself, learn what is there so that I can be able to help the people I want to help. And that is how it started. And that is how it all started. Now, I started like 6 years ago. I started with physical products. And from there, I've moved on to digital products. So you can start from wherever you want and then move on to, whatever you want. So that's how it all started for me to where I am now. Right. So what I want to drive home today is that everyone possesses unique knowledge that others find valuable. So whatever your background is, can I just drop in the text? I know we have people from different walks of life. We have lawyers, we have accountants and things. So can you please just drop in the chat, your different backgrounds so that as I'm talking today, I can actually touch on things. I can be able to, when I'm giving examples, I can be able to pick up some things from you. So if could just drop on the text, your different parts of your experience, knowledge, passion. It doesn't have to be your business. It can also be something you're passionate about. So if I can get that information, that's going to help me. One person here, we got law here, we got medic, yes. Any other person that wants to share their background with us? Engineering, yes, good. Right. So we've got loads here. So it's good that we know our background so that we can be able to really help help. When I'm talking, I can, touch all these things. Right. So everyone possesses unique knowledge that others find valuable. Now, if you've done something for some years now, you've mastered some expertise, some knowledge, some passion by doing that, which somebody else that is trying to start does not have. Let me give you, for example, I watched this film about this guy who went to Everest. Now, when he did that, they now employed him as a coach to help other people who wants to go to Mount Everest because he's done it. So he understands what it means to go to Everest. He understands, he knows all the strategies, all the skills he employed as himself to get to that point. So any other person talking and saying, well, when you want to climb a mountain, do this, that's theory. So they have no experience, but this guy have read the theory and done the practical and then can actually help people who wants to actually do that. So that's basically what it means. So you possess unique knowledge that others find valuable. But sometimes the problem is you don't even know, sometimes it looks very wide, it looks very big, and then you're like, what exactly, how do I help people? But you know within you that you have something. And for you to be here today, it means that you understand that you have something. If not, you're not going to be here. So that means that was already that thinking. Some people don't even know they have something. let me give you for example. When I started with this digital product, I said I was doing physical products. I never knew that's something I could offer. And then I was in a meeting, and then the guy was speaking, you've got something in you, you've got something in you. And I'm like, no, I don't have anything. And then I looked at one lady beside me that's, she bakes cake. I'm like, oh, you have a skill. And we laughed at it. And the guy said, no, everybody sitting here has a skill. And that was when I left there, and that got me thinking. So for you to be here means you've passed that stage, you already know you have something, which is very, very good. So the issue is now, how do we now help people with that skill you have? And the second question here says, what are you passionate about that others frequently ask you for advice on? Like when I'm talking about this knowledge thing, it can also be an experience. It can also be a passion. When I talk passion, someone dropped here, I have passion for teenagers and young women for their life development through medic. That's, there's a passion there. And then when you talk about medic, I'm sure maybe the person into medical. So bringing knowledge and passion together, do you see? So these are the different experience that can help. I remember when I went through an experience in my life. I had an extreme premature baby. I was looking for maybe a book or somebody that would tell, a book to read, or somebody who has been there. I couldn't find something on that. And at that point in time, whatever book you gave me, I could actually pay for it, however much you charge me, because I needed it. It's a pain for me. It's a pain point, and I needed that solution. So some things you think, oh, you know what, this thing, it's just there. It's a pain point for someone else. And if there's a way you could put together what you have, somebody is going to get it and go away and feel very happy. I know sometimes you might think, oh, maybe, it might sound as if I'm selling, but it's actually not selling, it's actually serving. Because when somebody, like when I said I was in that problem, if I've seen that book, if I've seen maybe any resource, any material, you find that for me, it's a solution to a problem. So I want you to see whatever product you're creating as a solution. Don't just see it as, oh, am I selling everything? No, you are actually helping people. You have the solution to somebody. You've passed through it, so you've acquired that knowledge. And the second question says, what are you passionate about that others frequently ask you advice on? I had this friend of mine, she's a lawyer, but she knows everything about hair. When I mean everything about hair, she can tell you all the sizes, tell you if I want, she sees any, when I mean hair as extensions, when she can tell you the different types, tell you where you even buy it, tell you the price. Oh my God, she knows so much about it. She's a lawyer, so hair extension is a different thing altogether. And one day I was like, you can actually make money from doing this. You're like, money? How? So the lady that was asking her the question was like, Joy, do you want her to charge me? I said, no, she's not going to charge you. I asked her, those people you're sending to their shop, why not become their affiliates? And then they will give you a link. So when you send these ladies to their shop, they will buy through your code and you get money for doing nothing. That's through your knowledge. That's your passion. So do you see how you can actually do this? So it comes in different form. If people are asking you a question about, think about it. What are the companies offering for this thing? Ask them, do you have affiliates? Get the link, give to those people, and then you get something, and the funniest thing, the person can go and tell another person, and then that's how it keeps building up. So that's just to show you what is possible when people, I talk about what you're passionate about. Let's take, for example, some of you have YouTube. I don't know. Do we I know one person here that have YouTube. Do you have anybody that has at least up to 1,000 followers? Drop in the chat, yes. You have YouTube, maybe you have Facebook. Good. Peter has YouTube. Any other person YouTube or Facebook or TikTok? And you have maybe 1,000, just 1,000. Do you have any other person apart from Peter? Okay, not that person. That's fine. So the reason why I spoke about YouTube is because Cynthia already has YouTube, so which is great. Well done, Cynthia. So that is already an audience there listening to you. You already have people who are listening to you. I'm sure if you go and look at your videos, you're going to see views, you'll see comments. That's people engaging you. That's people who believe in what you're doing. Now, apart from waiting for YouTube to pay you the money they pay when you get adverts on your your channel. Apart from waiting for that, do you know there are other ways you can actually make money? Now, if there's a particular topic you talk about in that in your channel, let's say, for example, like the lady that talks about teenagers, let's say, for example. So let's say that's what you talk about, you know, in your channel, be it Facebook, be it TikTok, be it YouTube. Do you know you can now create a digital product? Maybe a guide, maybe a checklist, maybe something that say, you know, maybe for teenagers, maybe if it's people that are going to be doing their SSCE or, sorry, what they call GSCE, maybe there's some guides, you know, some checklists they need to know, some this they need to know, and then you put it together, maybe like 5, 6, 10 pages. And when you do your presentation, you said, you know, for more information and for this, click on this link to get some resources that can support you. Now, you already have a platform. And imagine, let's say, for example, you know, the basis, you know, let's say those resources, let's just say you sell it £5. Now, when I say 5 to 10 pages, that's an example. You can do more. You can, you know, you can put a lot of things together. This is just an example. Now, let's say, you know, you get 10 people buying that resource at £5 in a week. I'm just trying to use the minimum, you know, the minimum thing it could be, because they could also buy it in a day. That's like £50. I'm talking pounds because I'm in UK. So, or dollars or wherever you are. So you can imagine getting £50 that you're just, you know, coming at any time, could be the night, day, and what can it solve for you? Now, it's a small money yet, but at least it can put some food on your table. Or if you don't know what else to do with it, you can have someone asking you for money. I'm sure it's going to bless life. So what am I trying to say? Is that, you know, think out of the box and ask yourself, what resources can I put together? And you know, the funniest thing with this, that sometimes you think, would somebody want this? Will somebody want this? And that's going to lead me to the next thing I'm going to talk about. And before I go there, look up, if you use iPhone, I don't know if you ever know about iPhone 1. When Apple launched it, people bought it. And they didn't wait until they had their iPhone 15. I don't know where we are now. Is it 16 or 17 or what? They didn't wait until that, but they came up with a solution. They launched it, and then they keep on making it better. So sometimes you might just sit back and say, you know what? I don't think people are going to like it. How would you know until you ask people, get this? So, you know, this is just one thing I want you to do, is to go away today to start thinking, because sometimes you have something in your hand, but you don't even know you have it. So a little bit of sitting down to think, to ask yourself questions, you know, whatever it's going to take. I remember the day, you know, I was talking about myself, the day the guy was speaking. After that session, I left there. I still didn't get what I could do. I remember the day I was just speaking around in my kitchen. I was like, this guy said everybody has something. And it just clicked. So it might be that you need to do some thinking and ask yourself, this is my field. What knowledge, what resources? It might be simple. It might, you know, could even be a teacher. You've worked with KS1 children, or maybe even early years. And maybe there's a pattern you've discovered. Maybe children that maybe that struggle to read, and you've mastered a way of supporting them to read. Now, I'm a mom, and I know some mom that, you know, that's their problem. How can I help my kid to read? And you can put down that help guide together and ask 1 or 2 people to try it out and give you feedback. And that is it, digital product created from your knowledge and from your experience. So this is just to give you, you know, tell you what is possible. And I said from the beginning that I want you to start thinking to know what's possible. If you don't know what is possible, then you won't be, sorry, excuse me. If you don't know that something is possible, then you find out that, sorry, excuse me. If you don't know that something is possible, then you can't even be thinking about it, can't even be working about it. So this is just to spoil you to start thinking. Now, understanding digital products. I believe you can still see my slide. So I'm going to be talking on benefits of digital products. I give example with the YouTube channel. Find out that so with YouTube, you can reach anybody anywhere. So location is not a barrier. So imagine if you have now created that product I've talked about, maybe some guidelines, some checklists for depending on whatever field your channel is all about. Anybody can buy it. And you're not wondering about shipping. So when we talk about scalability, that means it can be scaled. Lots of people can actually get it. And anybody anywhere can buy it and pay you, and it gets delivered. And so it's not about thinking about shipping it. And then, when you ship something, you think about, you buy the shipping fee, the shipping label, and then you post, and sometimes the person will say, I didn't get it, and then all those stuff, you refund. And so I'm not saying that physical product is not good, but this is to show it. This is talking about this physical digital product, is that it has a low entry barrier. So that's why I talk about, so it can be scaled. Anybody can buy it anywhere. So location is not your problem. And it's a passive income. Because remember I said you do this while doing your main job. So it doesn't take away your job, but this is an added income to what you're doing. And then it's got global reach. So, and of course, like I mentioned, like the value of converting your expertise into digital formats. When I gave this example about, if you use YouTube and then you now put together maybe 10-page documents about guide on, the best, I'm just trying to think about an example, the best places to go on holidays around. Let's say you talk about travel. This is information somebody will pay for. I know because I've seen people pay for it. And you put that together. Now, that information has value. It's your expertise. You know those places. You know that people can go to holidays there, or maybe you want to focus on people who have children. These are, exclusive places that can actually work for people with children. And then you put it together, and then you have to put another one together for teenagers, depending on your knowledge, and people will buy it off from you. Now, you've converted that knowledge into digital formats. That's kind of, you've productized your knowledge into a product, and someone is paying you for that. You can tell me, when they go and search on YouTube, search on Google, and get that information, everybody doesn't think the way you think. Some people just want things that are ready for them. They don't have time to mess up and be going up and down. They just want everything in one place. So this is something you need to also understand when you're talking about digital products. Now, you want to look at various monetization options. And I'm going to be using a particular skill to explain how you can monetize your products. I've already given some background, talked about what's possible, and then let me just get a particular skill and break it down. And I'm going to be using cleaning as an example. And the reason why I'm using that is because it's something everybody can actually relate to it. If I talk about medicals now, not everybody's a medical, in that field. If I talk about maybe law, not everybody's in that. So I'm using something that everybody can relate to it. So let's talk about cleaning. At least if you've not asked somebody to come and help you clean your house, maybe you have worked in an organization where you hire cleaners. So it's just something everybody can relate to it. Now, if you've worked as a cleaner, let's say for 6 years, and when I say clean, I don't mean anything, because it pays the bill. I've known people who have done cleaning work and they've used this to buy a house. So I don't try to, I just said I'm using this particular example because it's something I believe everybody can relate to it. If you've done cleaning for, let's say, 6 years, 7 years, you've picked up some skills in that cleaning. One, the best equipment for cleaning. These days cleaning is not just using mop. If you go to hospitals or go to all these big places, you see the kind of big machines. They teach you how to operate. So the machines, and the areas which they will function properly. And when it comes to those cleaning liquids and detergents, the make, the best ones in the market, and you even know why they are the best ones in the market. Now, someone like me that doesn't, that it's not in that field may not know this information. I do see in Facebook someone say, I have this thing in my chair and I need help to clean it. If I'm sure that if somebody puts together things that can help you clean, the person will even go and buy it. So it's just giving you an example what that knowledge, the value of that knowledge you have because you've done that job for some time. Now, so You've done it, so you understand all these bits. And also, you also know the equipment that is needed for each location. What I'm trying to say, you understand every aspect of that business. Now, of that job. If you keep doing that job for 10, 15 years, you're not going to create wealth. Let's be frank about it. The reason being that there's a cap, or else at some point you get promoted, maybe you're a supervisor, you're a manager, but even at that, there's a level you could go. But then that's where monetizing your knowledge comes into, bit. And I'm going to run through the different ways this particular skill and expertise can be monetized. Now, one bit could be creating digital product like ebooks and courses. When I say ebooks, I've just mentioned about, you understand different detergents, you know why they are good and know they are good. You can put together a guide, advising, maybe families or business or who, what to look out for, or the best one that can help solve stain or this kind of stain or stain in cloth and all those things. You can put together that, and that can work as this thing. Now, this is an example. And you can also put together a sheet. Let me just show you an example of something somebody put together. This is cleaning bundle. I believe you can see my screen. ADHD cleaning bundle. Maybe the person has, ADHD and thought about how can I make cleaning fun for me. She picked up this, just cleaning bundle, putting checklists, chalk cards, all those things and put them together. That is from that background. You can look at another one. It's telling you how to clean a toilet. So these are products somebody is selling. So I want you to see, sometimes when you don't look for things, you don't even know they are there. It's just to show you that somebody needs that skill you have. Somebody needs that knowledge you have. Now, the another aspect of that thing, the knowledge that can also monetize this. Now, if you've been there for some time, when new people come in, they will ask you to come and teach them how, take them through how you people work in the office, the cleaning process, what to do. Now, you already acquiring a knowledge how to deliver, how to teach people to do cleaning. Remember, I said I'm using this because that's something everybody can relate to. So you're already showing them how to do it, and then all the things they need to do. And of course, like when you go to maybe hospitals or retail or restaurants, you go to the back of the toilet, you see this paper they'll put there and say cleaning schedule, and then they'll be ticked. That's a digital product. You can develop that because you already know what is needed. So you've already taught the person. So you master that skill on how to teach a person that. Now, do you know what could come up from that? You can put together a course that runs through, a new team, people who are starting off business cleaning, all the guide they need to take through their new people, how to clean. We have new businesses that come up that clean, and then they'll recruit people. And you've put together a course, a guide. When I say a course, could you be delivering it just where I'm talking? Could you be putting down in, chronologically in paper, things to take care of, when you have new people coming in to join your cleaning team, these are the things to teach them, what they need to go through. These are the things they need to know. You put these things together. There are businesses who are starting off cleaning. They need that information. You already have it. You can put this down together. So do you see, are you getting ideas for your own business, how you can actually, from your own expertise or your own job, how you can actually make this work? So that's an aspect of thing you can do. So remember, putting these things down together. Right. And the next one I talked about monetizing your expertise. Now, this particular one, consulting services, I'll put at number 2 because when you start for the first one, consulting now might now be like a job. But I know someone who does his job and has a business, a cleaning business, a different business. So, and this, this is something, when I started with, I was doing my full-time job. So what I'm trying to say that these things are possible. Now, when I talk about consulting services in this case, so what's obtainable is that now you go out, you understand how this works. You put together proposals. These days, A lot of new businesses are coming in, a lot of people, families, people are busy. You can now be the one to have the agency yourself, employ people who go out and work for you, and you manage the whole thing behind you. Now, this is a sample. So these are different options. So it all depends on you. You pick what you think you can do based on, the time availability you have and the challenges of your main job. Remember, this is something you start from, and then you have a goal. You give yourself time. But these are, how to make this passive income. And then I've talked about content creation and monetizing, blogging, YouTube, podcast, and affiliate, which I said, even, and one thing I'm going to talk about this YouTube and affiliate is this. If you already have a platform, let's say, like I said, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, and all those things, what stops you from, let's say you're going to talk about, I'm just trying to think of an example for you to talk about. Let's say, let's just use, I'm going to talk about this cup today. And then, the people who manufactures the cup, the people who deals, the people who deals with that. What stops you from going to, a business coming up and say, okay, we're going to be speaking about this topic today, and we want to feature you in our program. And we have some number of audience who are going to be watching you. They are based here, and this is an opportunity for you to create awareness for your business and see what they say and strike a deal with them. So this is an option. So like when you have a Facebook and you have lots of followers, business can also give you that, and then in your banner, because some people that even have this kind of audience, they don't even know what to do with it. They just, it's just, yeah. So you can put together, put an advert of a company, tell them, can we put your advert on this our banner for maybe 1 month or 2 months, and then you pay us this money. If you try the first one, if it doesn't work, you keep trying. At least one will tell you yes, because what businesses need is that kind of visibility. Some don't have that kind of time, and they will, welcome that. You create opportunities. You don't wait for opportunities to come to you. You create it. So you don't say, I've not seen any business that is looking for me. You go and look for them. One thing again, I was going to add about, the skill, someone that is cleaning has done. Now, because he understands and all this cleaning detergents, cleaning things, there are a lot of cleaning things around now. So, he can meet up a company that does part of the, one of the products he likes, and say, you know what, my name is this, I've been doing this for this number of years, and I've used your product. I understand how it works, and I can help you educate your audience on how we can use this thing, or even become, your ambassador or your sales rep, or how can we collaborate? I love your products. If you drop that kind of email, and then maybe the manager or the head of the sales or the CEO gets that business, they will want to talk with you. So do you see, you're not waiting for things to come and look for you. You are being proactive. So it's about you thinking out of the box and asking yourself. And when I talk about business, it might not even be, it might just be a business down the road. You walk up and say, how can I support you in this? This is me. I have this, I have this, and see what happens from that. So this is an example of what you can get from this. And I also talked about freelancing. So it depends on what your background is, what you're already doing. Freelancing means, when you have your free time, you can use your skill to actually support or do some works. Maybe you're a teacher, I know some teachers, they do marking and all those stuff, or maybe they develop, just work for some organizations that need that thing, just work for them. And so there are different opportunities that you can actually monetize. Now, and I've already showed you that, this is example of a bundle somebody put together in cleaning. Now look at this product. This is a product. This is someone's digital product. It's editable. So you buy it, you get it down, you get the link, or it downloads, you get a download file, and then you go and print it yourself. So he or she has created this once. So what it just needs to let people see it, and they'll buy. Now this product is £6.79. and 9 people bought it in the last 24 hours. Let's do the math. I've got my calculator here just to give you an idea of what is possible. So this times 9 gives you 61 pounds in one day. Times it that's in one day. So if let's say we transit by 365 days, which is 1 year, we are looking at, let's say, 22 pounds. Sorry, 22,000 pounds in 1 year. I hope I got my math correctly. 6.79 times 9. Yeah, that's for 1 day. And then times it by the whole number of days. So do you see, this is passive income. This person is not printing, he's created it, it's there. People will come and buy it and print it out, and he gets the money. So do you see what is possible, what you can create? Now, look at another one. It says cleaning schedule. Just tells you what to do on Monday, Tuesday. I hope you can see it, and then annually, semi-annual. Do you see, as in, is this not simple enough? But 15 people bought this in the last 24 hours. Let's do the math for this one again. So £3.20 times 15 in 1 day, we're talking about 48 pounds. And then times it in 1 year, that's 17,520 pounds. That's for a cleaner schedule. So this is just to show you what is possible, to show you that, that idea you have, that expertise you have, somebody wants it. What you need to do is put it to a product, put it out there, and people will get it from, people are ready to get it. Now, another question you're going to be asking yourself, fine, I know I've got my knowledge, I've got my experience. How now do I, how do I know it's going to work? How do I create something? Now, talk about creating marketable solutions. So when you're creating anything, what you need to have at the back of your mind is that I'm creating a marketable solution. Because if you create something that, is not a solution, then you're just going to be there with it. So how do you create a marketable solution? By identifying pain points, solving specific problems to enhance marketability. And let me give you this example. This happened to me. Now, I remember speaking with one lady, that was like 2 or 3 years ago, and she told me, she's having this problem and this with her children and all this stuff, and she doesn't know how to handle it. I was asking me. I said 1 or 2 things that I know, and I've had that kind of experience before. So I said, okay, this. But when she left, I said, it just dawned on me that this is a problem, and that many people, are still coming to that phase, coming to that stage. I said, okay, this is a problem that needs a solution, because the way she was telling to me, you can see that this is she needs solution. So what did I do? I just went to the internet, did some Googling and checked some things, and then came up with my own idea, because I said it's something I've experienced and was able to come through, put together a few things, and then got someone on Fiverr. Fiverr is a marketplace whereby we have people who have some skills, and they can do a lot of works for you. So you can tell them this is what you want to do, and they will help you to do it. And then I got this girl. I told her, what, I want to do this, and these are my target audience. This is what I hope to achieve. Design this for me using this content I created. And lady designed, this is just a 2-page piece of work. And, it was a very spot on design. So I gave a complimentary copy to the person I was speaking with. I have the problem. Like, oh, wow, this is good. This is really going to help me solve this problem. I said, okay. And that's a product I've created. I put it up in the marketplace, and people paid me for it, and are still paying me for it. And the funniest thing, then I have not started doing digital products. So I'll still ship it, print it. And then when I realized about it, I said, you know what? I just did, buy it and print, and and save me that stress. And people are buying it as a digital product. Yes, you make lower when it's a digital product because you don't get to do the printing. But I've created this thing since the last 2 years. It's just there, and I don't need to worry about it. I can now focus on other things. So do you see how how it solved a particular pain point. Now, discussing with somebody made me pick up that solution. So what I wanted to learn from this story is that, be thinking about solutions, because there are problems all around you every day. It could be in the social media, maybe on Google, on maybe whatever social media you belong to, or even maybe face-to-face talk, because I told you this was just someone discussing with me. So when people tell you about your problem, I'm not saying that, it's about thinking about solution to problem. So that's the main, thinking about, this is a problem, how can we solve it? And also thinking about how many people, do we think that this solution is what most people, will need? But there are some solutions that you ask yourself, do people really need this? So, but like this particular one I just gave example, it was obvious that this is a need. I remember that, yeah, this was a challenge and they needed this. So it's about identifying a pain point. I did mention that example where, let's say you're a teacher, and maybe if you've been able to support children who are struggling to learn to read, and you master that tactics. Now, that's a pain point. Lots of people have that pain points, and they will gladly pay you what you want to get that solution because they need their child to learn reading. This is an example I'm giving. So it's about thinking, what solution can I create to be able to help me to solve this particular pollution problem. So it could be in law, and these days that a lot of people are now like we have small scale businesses. They go into, so we have small scale businesses, and they need to draw up contract, they need to do everything, they need to draw contract. So it's about having, you can drop contracts, can drop things based on your expertise. Help people who want to drop contract solutions, the legal aspect of the business, put together something, and that could be you're solving a problem. Because Charlie, when I talk about small scale businesses, you cannot know everything, you cannot know how to do everything. So you are not a lawyer, but a lawyer can come in. So you as a lawyer develop all this product that will make their life easy. You're solving a problem for them and make it easy so that they can just access it and they don't need to. So it's not like, okay, we are looking for a time to schedule with you to help us. You do a template or something, people can just get it, edit it to what they need. Right. So I've talked about, different places where you can discover opportunities, like in Google, social media, online comments. So these are example of places you can pick up ideas or solutions, or when people talk to you, listening in between the lines and be thinking about what solution can do this. Now, so that brings me to, I've been talking about different products, talking about the things, and I know the question you've been thinking in your heart is, so how do I create this digital product? So tools for creating digital products. Now, for most of the things you're going to create, let's say if it's design or ebooks, courses, planners, and everything, this platform Canva is a very, very good platform for that. So you already have different templates, and you can just get one, customize it to what you want. Or you don't have the time. I mentioned that when I was starting out, I got someone from Fiverr to help me do it. So basically what they will help you do is to, sorry, excuse me, I didn't realize this. So what they'll help you do is you tell them what you want to achieve, and they will help you do that. So that's also one thing you can do. So Canva is a very, very good platform. So if you don't know how to use Canva, you're thinking, you know what, I'm not a designer, I don't like anything design. It's really straightforward, and we have put together a Canva crash course, as part of our startup bundle. So if you're starting up and you need, and you're thinking of, how do I start all those things? So we've put together a bundle that can help you in this journey. And that includes, almost like 100 digital products ideas. That also comes with, tailored ChatGPT prompts that can help you put those knowledge together. Now, it's not as if you are the experts here, but sometimes you might need a help to organize your thoughts. So we've put together a tailored prompt that can help you get that. And also we've put together a crash course on Canva that you can look through if you want to do it by yourself. and it's very, very easy. It's something you can pick up. It guides you for whatever you need to know as a beginner in creating a digital um, um, product. Also, we've also put together in this bundle already made ebook template. So you just get it, make it the way you want it. So everything's already planned out for you. And also, we also put together a template for doing the actual digital product apart from ebook. So this can help you do planner, tracker, like these things you saw us, showing for what this lady created. So thing that can help you to create all this kind of digital products. So all these things are in that bundle. So if you're starting up and need all these things together, it can help you in your journey. So this is one of the resources we offer. And then we have Teachable or System IO. It helps you to actually organize your courses and develop that. So if you're looking to go into courses, that is going to be to help you. So it's very structured in a way that you can put it helps you to divide things in subsections. You can just put your video. It just makes the whole thing easier. You can also sell some of them and then collect your payments, which is very, very very helpful with this platform. And then talk about platform you can sell digital products, like Gumroad, Shopify, Amazon Kindle, and System IO. But we this is just a 1 hour webinar, so we won't be able to go in details in all this platform. So I've done an ebook whereby it's about everything you need to know if you're starting on selling online. In this ebook, we discussed different online platform, the best place to start and the best place to sell, depending on the product you're selling. So this is going to guide you in that making that decision. And you also include a workbook that can help you really pinpoint what solution you're solving. And this helps you to create a product that can help you. So these are all these things that encompass in that ebook. So it helps you to actually make the right decision right from the beginning. So all these things comes as a startup bonus so that someone that is going into this field of creating digital products, you can assess it and get the ideas, the prompts, the Canva crash course, and this template are already there to help you. So this is just something we put together as a support to help you in this journey. Now, talk about time management, because one thing we mentioned is that you're doing this while managing your main job. So, and one thing that's very, very important here is time management. Now, it's about how do you prioritize things? And when I call it a challenge is because whenever we come up with an idea, most times what we think about, we say you give 1,001 excuses why you can't do it. And one of them is normally time. I don't have time. I don't have things. I remember when I was starting my physical products and, one lady, I went to supply her the products. Somebody told her about me. And then, but I didn't package it properly. And she said, why not? And I told her, I gave her 1,001 reasons why I won't be able to do that. And for all of them, she just deflected it. I'm like, so what's there? Is that difficult? And I left there and I went and started the business. So that's just to show you that sometimes, it's about the excuse. It's because, that's how you're seeing it. But, when somebody tells you these things are not enough, you look at it, you can say, you know what, I think I can do this. So that's what I'm bringing to you, that what are those excuses you think why you can't do this? Like we have one of our resources whereby we guide people on a 6 weeks course and help them, with a step-by-step guide on creating this on their products and launching it within the 6 weeks to make it sell. So one of the key things we do that is that we do like a step-by-step so that each week they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing, because that's one of the problems we always have. Sometimes start, which one do I want to do today? And before you know it, you dump it and you keep it. But each week, you know what you're doing. At the end of the week, you have a tracker and you're ticking, have I done this? Have I done this? Have I done this? And these are something you can just do like 1 hour every day or 4 hours in a week. You spread it however you want to spread it, but in that week, get the 4 hours done. And we all are different and we have different challenges. And I understand that when it comes to time, that can be, I'm very, very busy. I'm very, very busy. But I'm a mom of 5, and when I started this, I was doing my full job and I also have my family, but that was not an excuse for me. I still pushed on. So when we talk about timing, it's something that can be overcome. So that's just one thing I want to really point through. It's about prioritizing and using the productivity tools I mentioned, like the tracker, knowing what you're doing. And this is one of the things we put together in our resource. Right. And the next thing we're going to talk about is the marketing and sales, because you're telling me, okay, I'll create this, I'll do this, I've designed it. How do I sell it? Now, there are different ways this can be done. And because of our time, we won't be able to go into this in details, but there are different ways you can sell it. You can use the marketplaces, and I've mentioned that in our ebook, we have all those stories there, and we have those all those information there that tells you about all the different marketplaces that you can use and everything. So just give me a second. I have a visitor here, and I'll come back. Yeah, I have a 2-year-old, so he came to say hello. Right. So yeah, so coming back to what we are talking about, um yeah, the marketing and sales. So I've mentioned that in the ebook we have this information there that shows you the social media, how you can leverage social media for your pre-launch interest. Because one good thing is that when you want to start this, it's always good to check, are people interested in this? Because you don't want to finish designing it or doing it and then you don't get an interest, and then you get more discouraged than you were at the start. So these are some of the information, we've put together there. And then also, if you come on our courses, on our 6 weeks course, we talk about that in details to show you, okay, this is what you're going to be doing at this point, this is how you're going to do it at this point, and give you that guide to be able to do it. So that brings me to the end of the presentation. But one thing I also want to talk about are the different resources we have available that can support you in this journey, if you want to go on board. And I did talk about the startup bundle, which I've mentioned several times, which includes the digital product ideas and then the prompt that can help you put together your thoughts, into a product and to help you craft your ideas effectively, and also includes a editable Canva ebook creator template, and then the digital product creator template, and then the crash course for beginners, and then also has the new sellers handbook. So these are like 5 products in one that we have put together for for you in this in this bit. Sorry, just go. Yeah, so these are the 5 different things that we've put in this is, yeah, somebody's asking if this is recorded. Yes, it's recorded. It's recorded. So so this particular one is 30 pounds. We normally do it like 40 pounds for this bundle, but for this webinar we are doing it for 30 pounds, so that we can give people an opportunity, if this is what you want to go into and need these resources to be able to guide you. We've made it available and then you can access it. I'm going to put the link on the chat and you can access it your thing. So we're going to be having it for this 30 pounds from now till Monday, when the price is going to go back to the original price of 40 pounds. So I'm going to just put the link once in this chart when I finish. And then the second one, it's the startup bundle plus live virtual course. So this is a 6 weeks course that you get everything you get in the package one, all those bundles, and then we're going to guide you. We're going to be meeting in 6 weeks course, whereby we're going to provide you with step-by-step instructions and feedbacks on how to create, launch, and make your first sale. And then the goal is that at the end of that thing, end of the 6 weeks, you've been able to create the product and make a sale. So that's our goal. and then you know the knowledge, you've seen how it works, and then you can now go ahead and repeat, and it's a case of now repeat because you now know how this works. So that is for this particular one. Normally we charge $350 for this because it's something we are fiscal here. Normally it's like the class is like 5 people in a class, and the sports normally gets filled up very quickly. But for the purpose of this webinar, we're going to be doing this at £300. So if this is something you want somebody to actually guide you, tell this is what you need to do, and give you feedback, and then guide you on how to create it, launch, and make that first sale, we are glad to support you to, get this done. So it normally start from is a 6 week course, and it's going to start in this April. So if this is what you want, I'm going to be putting the link in the chat. So once after I finish showing this, and then, you can click it and make the payments. So by Monday, it's going to go back to the original price. And then we have the last package, the ultimate growth package. And in this package, you get the whole of package 1 and package 2. And then what we do here is we work with you to create a strategy that can help you in 90 days to grow from 0 to £10,000. And you might be looking, I said, okay, maybe £10,000 is too small for you, but this is a passive income. And I know what it's going to do for you. Also, you might be wondering, how possible is this? But this is something I've done, so I know that this is possible. So during this course, we're going to assist you to create that strategy. We're going to tell you this is what you need to do. We'll work with you to create that offer that can help you get that. And, with that venture, at the end of the 90 days, you meet this goal or you get your money back. Yes, you heard that right. So if you've done everything we've asked you to do and you work with us and met your tracker, at the end of the 90 days and we've not got this thing, then we are the one paying you. So these are the 3 ways we want to support you to get this. I understand that some people, you might want to, go ahead and try things on your own and all those stuff. That's still okay. But if you want us to work with you to get to those points, we are here and we are happy, to work with you to get to those points. I'm going to stop recording at those points and stop sharing so that we can take